Terra Viva, a checkup on the environment.
Condensers, capacitors and cables, just some of the mountain of electronic components thrown away each year as 21st century gadgets become last year's model. Today, up to 50 million tons of electronic goods are produced worldwide, and France has set a target to collect and recycle 10 kilos per person between now and 2014.
In 2009, the collection of electronic waste reached almost 6 kilos per person per year. But it's reckoned the overall pool of rubbish amounts to 15 kilos. To put it another way, we don't yet collect half of the discarded household goods that we'd like to. But also bear in mind that each person buys the equivalent of 20 kilos of new electrical and electronic goods each year.
The rebirth of electrical and electronic goods begins at the collection points. This centre is at Greater Nancy in Lorraine, which is one of the most active in the field, and which plans to start a campaign to alert people to the need for collection and recycling. All of the electronic waste collected every day is brought to this sorting centre.
Once they arrive on site, the first thing is to sort them by load so we can weigh them and identify where they've come from.
The idea is to make everything traceable. It's all weighed and the data is put into a national computer system that can follow each piece through every part of the process. Certain items are sent to be treated at specialist centres, others stay. The small equipment is treated right here.
You find everything: a coffee mill, loudspeakers, a telephone cradle, a phone, an electric tin opener. Really, there's everything in this pile here. The idea is to remove things like batteries, ink cartridges from printers, cables, and then we prepare this stuff, pre-treat it in several stages, ready for the industrial grinder later on. There it's really broken up, so it can be recycled. So whatever it is, polymers, scrap metal, steel or copper, can be put back into industry.
Discarded TVs from the region are taken to the depot at Pompey. Every month, they break up and dismantle 400 tons of unwanted equipment.
It's reckoned nowadays that we recycle 98% of an old television. In other words, there's practically no waste left compared with before, when this set would have been buried 2 meters down to pollute an area of 100 square meters for 50 years. When you leave your old TV at a tip or a dealer now, you can be sure that it will be properly cleaned up. And that's true for all this electrical and electronic waste.
And this is how it's done.
First, out come the circuit boards. Depending on the type, we reclaim the transformers and condensers. That's one of the most highly polluting components of a television. Virtually nothing gets thrown away.
Ordinary folk are catching on to e-recycling more and more, but among the professionals there's a less impressive uptake. The idea that companies pay to recycle goods they sell still hasn't really caught on.